Welcome, everybody. Very excited about what we're going to talk about today because we're going to talk about how stress devastates your health. And you might say, why is this important? Most people live a very stressful lifestyle. We're going to come and talk about the causes of stress and why it's a stressful lifestyle. And stress has a major devastating impact on your health. And we're going to show that today with a comprehensive health assessment, which is going to identify in Gina all the things going in her body from the stress in her life, which includes her husband died last year, which of course is a very stressful experience, right? And how that impacts your body. So the main topics we're going to talk about today are what, cause, what causes stress. We're going to look at the hidden causes that you mightn't be aware of. You might think your life's okay and not stressful, but it probably is. And if you're not aware your life is stressful, you're probably not going to do anything about it. Because some people say to me, oh, I've got a busy, stressful lifestyle and think it's okay. No, it's not okay for your body. And we'll talk about that why, right? So we'll talk about the causes of stress. We're going to talk about the effects it has on your body and your lifestyle, which are very devastating and could even kill you by creating chronic illness. And then we're going to finish off by, after we do a health assessment to show the impact of the stress on Gina's body, we're going to then talk about how you can minimize stress, right, in your life. So let's start off by looking at what is stress. And the way I look at stress is, well, the body is an energy system. It works on energy to perform. So therefore, what it needs sufficient energy to perform its functions and make sure that your elimination systems are working to eliminate all toxic energies that and that might be through food or other emotions or whatever it is. If you're not eliminating toxic energies in your body's working overtime, right? Now, you might say, can you reduce all your stress? Well, in some ways, I believe there's healthy stress. And what I mean by that? Well, if you want to, for instance, let's say you want to start exercising. If you go for an exercise, it might stress your body out a little bit because you're pushing it, right? But in a way, that's good stress because you're doing it with the intention of actually increasing the energy in your body and making it stronger. But the important question is, and it's a really interesting question with the Olympics on right now, is preparing yourself for what your body is wanting to do. I remember watching an Ironman competition in Hawaii, which is one of the toughest Ironman competitions in the world. And they really emphasized on two people. The guy who won it, he looked like he cantered through it because he was well prepared. So his body, you might say his body was under stress, but it wasn't overwhelming stress. Then they showed a lady who almost died. She was in hospital for weeks afterwards. And they showed her, she almost collapsed, or she did collapse on near the finishing line. And she could hardly walk at the end. She probably wasn't prepared. So she put her body under extreme stress. And it was really interesting in the Olympics yesterday, there was a swimmer that collapsed after a race and got taken to hospital, right? She had an asthma attack. And of course, it's interesting trying to swim with an asthma problem, right? Because obviously breathing with swimming is really, really important. So in a way, the way I look at stress is, are you pushing your body beyond its capabilities? Yeah, I think that's the important point. Because another story I read about a gymnast. Now, in gymnastics, she was an Olympian, right? In gymnastics, you can put particular parts of your body under stress. And they do this particular move called twisty, which really puts a lot of stress on your body. And that's so much stress to her body, she actually retired from the industry for 3 years because it put so much stress on her body. So sometimes you might do particular activities which is putting a lot of stress on your body. For instance, when I walked the Himalayas, right, which is quite stressful for your body if you're not prepared. I did a lot of running for it, but didn't do a lot of up and downhill stuff. When you walk downhill, I don't know if you're aware of it, but it puts a lot of pressure on your knees. And my knees are so stressed out. Right? I remember watching these two girls, they got carried down after 2 days because they weren't prepared at all. They actually rolled up in high heel shoes to do mountain climbing, which is pretty ridiculous, right? And 2 days later, they got carried down because they weren't prepared. So stress is a relevant thing, is a relative thing based on, are you prepared? Have you prepared your body to be capable? And of course, when you work with extreme athletes who are like at the Olympics, obviously a lot of them are prepared so they can do the performances, but they've got to be prepare their bodies to do it. They've got to build up. But for a lot of people, there's unhealthy stress, which we're going to talk a lot about today, is which you're putting your body under continual stress. And like anything, if you put your body under stress, it's not getting enough energy to perform its functions. The body's going to collapse. It's not going to function as well, which is going to show up as organs not working, or you might break bones, or you might create a chronic illness. And the important question is, do you know how healthy your body is? Maybe not. And that's what we're going to show you today. Latest technology with a voice scan in 10 seconds, it can do a comprehensive health scan of your body and tell you where you're at. Because if you don't know where your body is at, you're at very high risk. And especially as you get older, of course, right, where your body tends to deteriorate in its performance. If you don't know where your body is at, you could be a walking time bomb where death is coming close. So it's a good idea to know where your body's at. So we're exciting today with Gina, who's going to show us what her body is telling us from what she's been going through. And she's been going through a lot, including her husband dying a year ago. Okay, so let's talk about what causes stress. And I'm going to do a share here. Okay, can everyone see that?
Yes.
Right, thank you. So what creates stress? And we're going to come down and look at, well, first of all, the visible sign of stress. The first signs are you're probably exhausted, you've got mental fatigue, or you're feeling overwhelmed. And we had a story of someone, so at the start is, he was stressed at work because they asked him to do a 6-month job in 3 months. He's probably suffering mental fatigue, right? Is that true, Sanjay? Yeah, absolutely. And you're probably feeling overwhelmed. Now, as I said, if you put your body under stress, it hasn't got enough energy, you're going to develop body symptoms. And therefore, it's understanding what the symptoms mean. And today, I'm going to give an energetic approach to what body symptoms mean, right? The underlying cause. And of course, this could lead to life dramas in your life. So, for instance, if you're stressed out, then that might affect your relationships, right? You might be peaceful and you might be angry and you from work and taking it out on your family. But what causes stress, the next level, is unhealthy lifestyle. If you've got an unhealthy lifestyle, this is going to cause stress. And what does that mean? Well, you're pushing your body too much. What I've discovered in the world, most people are in their heads, in their egos, and they push their body too much and they're not even aware of their body. Because a lot of people work so long hours and they don't rest. I went to Kenya last year. A lot of Kenyans work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. What a stressful lifestyle. And they don't even earn a lot of money, like about $400 a month. Right? So they're even financially stressed. So are you pushing your body too much? Right? Are you eating toxic foods? And we'll come and look in a minute about, are you eating dairy, which of course is very bad for your body? Are you eating processed foods or too much sugar? If you look at Gina, Gina's actually diabetic, so she actually had too much sugar, right? And of course, your pancreas can't deal with too much sugar. Um, and of course, there can be addictions you have. You might be smoking or taking drugs, right? Or eating a lot of sweet foods, which is a very unhealthy lifestyle, which is actually putting your body under stress to eliminate them. You can have attachments, because in a way, part of your unhealthy lifestyle is your thought patterns. Putting toxic thoughts into your body is very toxic. Your body finds it hard to deal with. Poor drinking habits. In other words, you're not drinking enough water or healthy juices, or you're not breathing sufficiently, and I love Dr. Grant talks about this a lot, is doing deep breathing from the stomach. You might be lacking rest and sleep. So if you've got problems with sleeping patterns, that's going to affect your body because body needs sleep and rest. This is why, like when I went to South America, I learned how to have a siesta in the afternoon. Right? So I like to have an hour's sleep in the afternoon, which really helps prepare me for the rest of the day. Are you doing regular exercise, which is healthy for your body? Like at least they say 20 minutes a day. Because if you don't exercise, your immune system doesn't work properly because your lymphatic system depends on exercise. So if you don't exercise, your system isn't going to work. Other things about unhealthy lifestyle are things like a toxic workplace. For instance, let's say if you're working in an office which has got fluorescent lights, which are extremely bad for your body, and you might be working with toxic people, including a narcissistic boss, that's going to be very toxic, right? And you might have a toxic home, which could be you're in a toxic relationship, or you've got toxic siblings you're living with, or you're living in a toxic environment, which, for instance, might have a high amount of electrical wires passing by your place, or a toxic river that's going past your place, right? Or you might have a toxic factory, which is near your house, right? So generally, what we're saying here is stress is caused because you've got an unhealthy lifestyle. And therefore, with one thing that Dr. Grant taught me is getting people to do a health IQ. And we did one with Gina. She got 46% out of 100, right? And so that's telling me that she's not living. If you're living an unhealthy lifestyle, you're putting body under stress. Then the healthy IQ test helps you test that. But what causes you to have an unhealthy lifestyle? That's an important question, right? Because you might say, oh, you're eating a lot of sugar. You might say, just reduce your sugar. But why are you having too much sugar? And what I know from my experience working with people and from a holistic level for 30 years, and I've helped people from 50 different countries heal from a lot of different things, is got to go down to your thought patterns. So what I mean by your limited thoughts? So if you've got a thought of, I don't have enough time, which a lot of people have, that puts your body under stress. I want you to just say to yourself right now, I don't have any time. I lack time. Say that and see how your body feels. Your body's going to go into stress. Compare that to now saying to your body, I have plenty of time today to do what I need to do, and see how your body responds to that. Now, where do a lot of our limited thoughts come from? They can either come from the collective, which could be from your parents, from your customs that you live in, your depending on what nationality you are, and quite often they come from unresolved trauma that you might have. Because you look at Gina, Gina had a narcissistic mother, and that has led to a lot of limiting beliefs that she's got. And quite often, a lot of these thoughts are unconscious. They're in your subconscious, and you're not aware of them, but they're going to impact on your body if you hold negative thoughts. One of the toxic food groups is toxic thoughts because that puts your body under stress. If you say to your body, I can't do it, life is. I met a lady yesterday in the park, and she said 12 times in 5 minutes, she used the word hard. Oh, life is hard, and this is hard. And I thought, oh my God, that's putting your body under stress by saying life is hard, right? And it's only a belief. It's not a truth. It's just a belief that you're holding on to, which might have come from the collective or it might have come from trauma. Now, your thoughts create heavy emotions. Your emotions come from your thoughts. Because if you have, for instance, have a thought, I don't have enough time, well, that's going to create stress. Oh my God, can I do this? Oh my God, frustration. If you believe you're not good enough, well, that's going to create a lot of heavy emotions, shame, guilt. So generally, if you haven't dealt with trauma, you're going to have a lot of negative thoughts, probably in your subconscious you're not aware of, which is going to create a lot of heavy emotions. And if you haven't dealt with them, you store them in your body. And if you look at any energetic healers, they will tell you what organs hold particular emotions. So if you've got unresolved grief, I can tell it's going to affect your lungs. If you don't love yourself, it's going to affect your heart. If you've got issues around anxiety, it's going to affect your bladder. If you've got issues around fear, it's going to affect your whole immune system and affect your power chakra, your stomach and kidneys. If you've got grief, so if you've got guilt, it's going to affect your hip regions. If you've got anger you haven't resolved, it's going to affect your liver and gallbladder. So if you've got a lot of emotions because you're holding on to limited thoughts, that's going to cause you to actually store these in your body, which are very toxic. Because quite often when people look at nutrition, they just look at physical food. I look at it holistically and say, okay, no, what energies are you putting into your body? Not just your physical food, what thoughts are you putting into your body? What emotions are you putting into your body? Because they might be making your body very toxic, and therefore your body's under extreme stress. If you've got kidney problems because you haven't dealt with fear, well, that means your kidneys aren't going to perform properly, and that's going to cause stress for your body. And a lot of people, I think the biggest issue people have is low self-worth. From my experience working with people from 50 different countries, because people feel there's something wrong with them, or they don't fit into the world, or they're not good enough, or whatever limited belief they have. And quite often that comes from a trauma, especially you have a trauma like Gina, which was a narcissistic mother. And I know that because I had a narcissistic father, all right? Is you tend to think there's something wrong with you. You tend to have shame and guilt, which is going to affect your body and put your body under a lot of stress. I'm going to come and talk about how you can overcome that. And it might limit the thought you might be judging other people. Because what a lot of people do is they judge their experiences by judging other people. Oh my God, this person did this to me, which doesn't understand the law of attraction. So you really got to understand the law of attraction, how you create experiences. Because all your experiences are based on your energy inside. And that's why it's really important to have a high energetic body, right? Because you've got a toxic body with toxic energy, then you're going to attract toxic people. I had this lady who came to me and she said, Paul, my last 9 boyfriends have been angry. And I said, yeah, well, there's some anger that you haven't dealt with, which related to her father. Now, if she's bringing angry men into her life all the time, well, she's actually creating a very unhealthy lifestyle and a lot of stress. She didn't know how to deal with these angry men. Now, when I got her to resolve her limited thought around angry men and got her to deal with her issue with her dad, which is where it came from, that was the original trauma, she let go of that anger. She created a healthy lifestyle because the next man she met was a beautiful, calm man, and they actually end up marrying. So she wasn't under stress because she had let go of the negative thoughts. Does that make sense to people? Yeah, cool. Now, therefore, if you're looking at, so when we're going to look at today is, if I'm looking at stress or any issue in the body, I'm always looking at, well, okay, what unhealthy lifestyle are they running? And what thoughts are they holding on to, which is creating that? See, if you're eating a lot of sugar, eating toxic foods, let's say you're eating a lot of sugar, sweet foods, which will eventually cause diabetes because your pancreas can't handle the sugar levels. That comes from a limited thought you're not good enough. That's where it comes from. So unless you deal with that issue, you're not going to deal with people eating sweet foods. Because really what people are doing, if you don't believe you're good enough, what you often do is you look for sweetness outside of yourself, rather than inside yourself. And you go, oh, if I have a nice cake with a lot of cream and sugar in it, I'm going to feel good. Well, you might feel good in the short term, but when your body tries to digest that, your body's going to be under stress. And in a way, you're not really feeling good anyway, because you're making your worthiness dependent on something outside of yourself. So what's really important is you've got to look at your worthiness inside, and therefore you're not going to have addictions or attachments. So therefore, when I'm dealing with clients, I'm going down to what is the root cause? What thoughts are they holding on to, putting into their body that they need to let go of, which is then going to create a healthy lifestyle. This is how you minimize stress. It's really the opposite. By holding positive thoughts, you create a healthy lifestyle, and then you're going to have a healthy body. So what do I mean by positive thoughts? Well, you be peaceful about life. In other words, you don't believe there isn't enough time. I get up in the morning and say, today I have plenty of time to do what I need to do. I'm at peace to start off with, right from the start. I'm not jumping out of bed, hitting my alarm clock because I'm annoyed because I've got to rush off to work. If you do that, that's putting you under stress straight away, right? Be grateful for your experiences. This is really understanding that every experience you have is okay because you're creating experiences to learn. If you've got a negative experience, you perceive negative experience. Oh my God, this is a bad experience. That's going to put you under stress. So your attitude to your experiences is really important to how much stress you're putting into your body. You've got to resolve past issues. And that's one thing I do. I help people because I can connect to people's energy and I can tell them what issue they got in their body by just connecting to the energy. Because I felt this lady a couple of days ago and I said, oh my God, there's a real block of energy in your heart. And I said, this is about loving yourself. And I said, it's something about your relationships. And she was sacrificing herself for men, right? Which was actually putting your body under stress. So you've got to resolve your past issues. And if you don't know what they are, we'll go to an energetic healer who's going to help you connect to them by just reading your energy, right? And of course, the ultimate thing is your divine connection to be real. Because some people say they don't have enough energy. Well, I can tell you, you can increase the energy in your body at any time. If you connect to the divine and allow the divine energy, there's an abundance of energy in the universe. You've just actually got to allow it to come in. So I want you, everyone right now, I call this the 5-5-5 breath. You breathe in for 5 seconds, you hold it for 5 seconds to allow the oxygen to go around your body. And then you breathe out for 5 seconds. And it's a deep breath from your stomach. Now, when you breathe in, I want you to imagine you're breathing in more positive love energy into your body. So breathe in for 5 seconds. Expanding your stomach out to really breathe into your stomach. Hold it for 5 seconds. Then breathe out for 5 seconds. When you're breathing out, you're pulling your stomach in. I call it the 5-5-5 breath. And breathing out is the main way you release energy from your body or your toxic energy. Just do that for a few breaths and tell me how you feel. Just focus on your breath for a few minutes. Even just doing this is life-changing, breathing properly. But you can breathe more energy into your body and be energized. You're a power station. Just energize it. Is that good? Yeah,
Yeah.
put your hand up if that felt good. Yeah, that felt good. Hello, you still there? Still alive? Yeah. Deep breathing. Change your life. And it doesn't cost anything. How cool is that? Right? So you've got to make sure that you have positive thoughts in your life. You've got to have to create a healthy lifestyle, which is going to reduce your stress. Right? Does that make sense? So the first thing is when we're going to look at Gina, right? We'll come and talk about the health assessment in a minute. But the first thing I do, and I got this idea from Dr. Grant, is do a health IQ test on her by saying, what is she doing in her lifestyle, which might indicate whether she's really living a stressful lifestyle or not. And what we're going to do is share, I've asked you to do this, right, is we're going to share her results. Okay, can you see that?
Yes.
Cool. Now, I asked 10 questions, each of them out of 10, so in total that's 100. She got 46%. Now, to me, if you want to be a healthy lifestyle, you've probably got to be at least 70, 75. So I look at how many high scores did you get out of 10 questions? You got 2. Medium 5 to 6, 5, and she got 3 very low. And let's just look at some of these. Thinking or sleeping, she got 5 out of 10, which is probably telling me she's still thinking a bit too much, which puts your body under stress. If you're thinking too much, you're probably not trusting your intuition. If you go and read Eckhart Tolle, to be present, you've got to reduce your thinking, right? So I look at people thinking, is she drinking enough water, right? Now, to get a 10, you've got to drink at least 2 litres. So she's doing that, which is pretty cool. That's a good start. Has she got a busy, stressful lifestyle? 5 out of 10. So it's spot in the middle. She gave herself 4 out of 10 for toxic foods. So there's some toxic foods that she's eating. And in that question, I asked, do you have dairy foods? Um, do you eat processed foods? Do you eat fast foods? Right. So she's 4 out of 10. So she needs to improve that area. Exercise, 5 out of 10. So she's probably doing 15 to 20 minutes a day. She takes pills, which are very toxic. See, one thing I do as an energetic healer, I get people off all pills because all pharmaceutical pills are toxic. And you don't need them if you know how to connect your own energy. So she takes them regularly every day. That would give them a 0. She's got some addictions and attachments. And as a healer, I'd go into that and ask her what it is. She's affected by people in your life. Now, if you're affected by people in your life, that's actually going to put your body under stress. It could be affected by a narcissist, or you're affected by. She actually said that in her marriage, she actually said that she lost herself in a marriage, which is really interesting. Deep breathing, she gave herself 7 out of 10. She does that pretty good. And she's got some regular health issues. And we'll come and talk about some of those today when we do the health assessment, right? Including diabetes. She's had problems with her eye nerves. She's had problem with face paralysis, which is called Ramsay Hunt. She had problems with depression, anxiety, reflux in the gut. She got problems with her periods, and she's had problems with her cramp and back pains, especially after her husband died a year ago, including the shoulders. Now, I can tell whether people are stressed out by looking at their shoulders, because quite often our shoulders, we hold energy there if we're burdened. You know the comment, we carry the world on our shoulders? So you're trying to rescue people all the time, which is something that Gina was doing, right? You rescue other people, think you have got to help everyone in the world. Well, your body's gonna be stressed out. So if I look at shoulders and I can see if they're tight, I know they're burdened straight off. If you've got back issues are related to not supporting yourself, because I've helped a lot of people overcome scoliosis and back problems, including Dr. Grant. Right, Dr. Grant had a lower back issue, right? Is you've got a back issue because you're not supporting yourself, which means is your body's going to be under stress. So the good thing is, I'll look at Gina in a month's time, see how she changed. Dr. Grant, I did a session on the client we did previously. She got 41% on an initial one. I did a session on her the other day, and her score on the health IQ quiz went up to 57%. That's a 40% increase, right? Because I'm getting her to change a lot of her lifestyle by changing her thoughts, right? Changing her issues. That's why it's good to do. Because if you don't know where you're at, well, you don't know where to go, right? So it's good to get a quiz and go, oh my God, how healthy am I? And 46%, if you really want to be effective, probably got to be 75, 80. Or as Dr. Grant would say, if you want to be an athlete, you probably got to be at least 90%. Well, if you're at the Olympics, you've probably got to be 99%. Because what a swimming race could be determined by 0.01 of a second. Oh my God. 4 years and you get beaten by 0.01 of a second. That would be stressful actually doing that. Cool. So we'll stop there. Any questions on that background? And because what we're going to talk about now is the voice scan of how to do a health assessment. And I'll get some comments from George and maybe from a couple of other students under George to talk about how effective the scan is. And then we're going to actually show Jeannie's results, because actually I did the scan on her just before this class, and we're going to go through the details with her. She gives us permission to do that. And that's going to show how the scan works. So I'll get Dr. George Grant just to introduce the AI voice scan and tell about what it does, to give feedback to people so people get an understanding of how this can actually give a health assessment to tell you where your body is at. So Dr. George has just introduced you. Thanks for coming, and appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, Paul, for inviting us. It's much appreciated. And I want to welcome Dr. Harvey Lumstein. He's my colleague from Dallas, Texas. He's one of the top neuropsychologists there. And I also welcome Marisol Bancroft from California. She is one of my doctoral students. She's almost halfway through her doctorate degree right now. And she has the AO scan device. and so is Dr. Harvey, have his device. So, Paul, I appreciate your introduction about stress. Just want to let your audience know that I earned 3 doctorate degrees. The first one on stress and burnout, 1995, University of Toronto in Canada here. If your colleagues and your friends do not know where's Toronto, it's north of New York. If you don't know where's New York, I cannot help them. Okay, so Toronto is one of the largest city in Canada, and actually it is one of the cleanest city in the world. And I hope invite all of you to come to visit us one of those days, either to come to visit Toronto or to come to our retreats right here in Ontario. Okay, so since my first doctorate was on stress and the second and the third was on uh, integrative medicine, functional medicine, lifestyle medicine, I want to address what you did, Paul, a great introduction about stress. You're truly the healing wizard. And before you use the AO scan, you still actually a very effective healing wizard, because now you had this tool added to your practice to become the true Australian wizard right there, because the device actually detect and correct frequency. And before we do any testing through this wonderful device, as you mentioned before, we do the health and or wellness IQ test. So I would invite your colleagues from Australia, New Zealand, or across the world to do what you did for your client Gina, is to start with the health quiz or the wellness IQ quiz at the academyofwellness.com. 10 questions to detect lifestyle which causes stress. So what is stress? In a very simple way, I'm going to summarize my 385 pages thesis on stress in 2 words. There's a good stress called eustress, and there's a bad stress called distress. So when people live in distress, it's really affecting their body at the PMS level, physically, mentally, and also spiritually. We call it PMS for that. So when people have lots of physical and mental stress, they live in what's called sympathetic nervous system, SNS. So when people live in SNS, sympathetic nervous system, it's called fight, flight, fright, and freeze. Can you imagine, Paul, in the Western world, people live 80% of their life in that sympathetic nervous system that causes stress. They only use 20% parasympathetic, which is rest, digest, deep breathe, laugh, stop and smell the roses, take a walk, sleep well. This is parasympathetic. We should be about 50-50. Or if you're, a monk living in the mountain, you should be 80 parasympathetic and 20 sympathetic, because there's no stress there. Okay, the absence of stress is death. That's what Dr. Hans Selye said in his early work. There's no way you can cancel a stress, because if you're alive and breathing anywhere in the world, you're gonna have stress. So the way to cope with the stress and to handle this stress is to do what Paul was talking about before. You do the breathing, belly breathing. Can you imagine 25% of my clients know how to do the abdominal belly breathing? Like 75% or even more do the chest breathing, and they do not get enough oxygen. So they have a condition called hypoxia, lack of oxygen, because they're not breathing properly. Breathing properly is very simple. As Paul was saying, the 5-5 method. You take a deep breath from the belly, you hold it there for 5 seconds, and then you exhale. When you inhale, you nourish your body with good positive energy, and when you exhale out the distress. So this is a simple thing to do. And when you're fully hydrated, as Paul was talking about before, you're having the water. By the way, our body is 70% water, not 7% Coke or Pepsi or Dr. Pepper or energy drinks or any of this thing that you find in the supermarkets. So, or not coffee, definitely not alcohol. So if you do too much of the other toxic stuff, your wellness IQ or the health quiz is going to be very low. So you got to watch this before we do actually the scan. So this is very important to detect lifestyle. Why? Why lifestyle is so important? Because there's not a single drug or a single supplement or a single herb or a single modality that will fix poor lifestyle. So we always start, any practitioners, Dr. Harvey, Marisol, Paul, and I, we always do the wellness quiz first. And Dr. Harvey, by the way, if you want to add something, feel free to unmute and go ahead and contribute something, because he's one of the actually very amazing, not only neuropsychologist, but he's one of the top AO expert, biofeedback expert in Texas, in Dallas, Texas. And Marisol, now also feel free to jump in anytime, just unmute and jump in and tell us about your experience in the past. My goodness, it's only like 2 months since you start to use this, and you're almost half through now to your doctorate curriculum, and you start work on your thesis, which is amazing. Okay, so let's get back to the device. This is the best assessment tool ever invented in the world. This is the latest invention and the best invention to detect and correct frequency. Much better than any other device I've ever used for 55 years. Yes, I'm 74. I know I look younger. Thanks very much. So, but you know what? When I was 18 years young, I lost my mom at age 45 years young from diabetes, blood pressure, and heart disease. I lost my dad at age 60, and I never see my grandparents. They died in between 55 and 60. So here I am at 74. I feel really younger. My client tell me I look 10 years younger. You can agree or disagree with that. I have energy of somebody like in their 50s. So it's not how old you are, and it's not the bad genes that you inherit or good genes that you inherited, is how you deal with lifestyle. So I try to do my best I can, just like what Paul, Marisol, and Sanjay, and Dr. Harvey, doing the best we can, and Gina, and everybody on the call here, doing the best they can to have a good, healthy food, a good, healthy water, at least half your body ounce in water per day, a healthy sleep. Sleep is not to rest. It's not to relax. It's to rejuvenate. It's to recover. Is to repair and to detox your body. So very important that we go to bed by 10:30 p.m. your time. Not Toronto time, not Australian time, not California time. Your own time zone, 10:30 to 10:30 to 11 o'clock. Not midnight and not 1 o'clock in the morning like some teenagers do. That is very bad. Why? Because the liver meridian start work at midnight. So if you go past midnight, the liver will go on a strike and will not detox your body. And so followed by the gallbladder, followed by the kidney. You're going to have a big problem with imbalance in your body. Remember, wellness equal balance. Illness is imbalance. So we want to focus on not to have sympathetic nervous system, fight, flight, fright, freeze, to have more parasympathetic, which is rest, digest, laugh, stop and smell the roses, enjoy your life, basically. Okay. And then we're going to do now, after we do all of the wellness IQ or the health quiz that Paul is talking about, is we do the actual scan to detect the red flags and what are the stressors in the body. So now Paul is going to share the inner voice scan for Gina. And we noticed that Gina had a health quiz of 46%. As Paul was talking about, we need 75 80% for normal people, and we need for athletes. I work with the top athletes in Canada and the US, and they must score 90%, otherwise they cannot compete. 90% for athletes, 75 to 80% for the average person. Anybody under 50, they have a challenge. I had somebody from the state of Kentucky in Texas. Dr. Harvey has met this person. His name is Jeremy, and he had diabetes for 12 years. He's taken lots of meds, about 8 or 10 of them, and the lowest of blood sugar he can have from his own physician and the medication is 375. His blood sugar usually around 450, around 425, 450, with all of these meds. So he's 50 years young. He had no feeling from the knee down. Doctor said, I cannot do any more meds, and we're gonna do amputation on your foot at 50 years young. Why? He has no feeling, and he was afraid he's gonna have gangrene. Working with us for 3 months, we done the wellness IQ. His score was 33%, a little bit less than Gina. 30, not 49, not 46, 33%. After 3 months, his score improved to 88%.
Wow.
He regained his circulation from the knee down. And then doctor said, oh, if you have your circulation back, there is no need for amputation. And guess what? His blood sugar dropped from 450, the lowest was 350, to 95. He maintained that for the following 3 months. He's now no longer diabetic, no longer have neuropathy, no longer have no amputation, and he's 50, and he has referred to us, many people. Dr. Harvey has met him, and he has seen all of the stuff. And Dr. Harvey himself actually has many clients with, we had talked to a client last week and he was taking a lot of narcotics and his blood sugar was bad. We put him on natural supplement, berberine, and all of the other stuff to control his blood sugar. And now we're waiting for 3 months now to improve. And I'll tell you, if you know somebody, Paul, in Australia, New Zealand, in your homeland, who have diabetes or obesity, this is the new epidemic in America called diabetes plus obesity called, and it's the worst in Texas. The state of Texas is big. People there are big, and then they have more diabetes and obesity than any other state, followed by California. And Marisol is the only exception to that. She's very slim and trim. As you can see, she's very young and beautiful. Okay, of course,
That
she's my
probably
student.
that probably has something to do with the number of fast food restaurants we have in this state.
Exactly, exactly. See, Dr. Harvey has seen more obese people in Texas, and since he's a neuropsychologist, he deals with this food addiction and lack of water. Most of them prefer to drink Coca-Cola and Pepsi. It's an epidemic there. In fact, Coca-Cola and Pepsi soft drinks sold more in Texas than any other state in the union in the America, and they have
Mm.
more obesity than. So there's a correlation between what you eat, what you don't eat, and what's eating you. Now, I don't think in Australia and New Zealand you have as much people who have diabetes or diabetes plus obesity as much as you have in the States or even in Canada or other countries. So stay healthy. Like if you're in Australia and you have, I think if I remember correctly, the statistics for diabetes in Australia is about a third of the population, about 33%. In Texas, it's 48%. Half the population in Texas have diabetes and obesity. Right, Dr. Harvey?
My God.
That's that's
Like one
be
and two. Like
that's
you
because
go,
we have a very high population of Hispanics, and for
yes,
some reason they are genetically predisposed to diabetes.
exactly. It's an epidemic everywhere, particularly in Texas and other countries. Okay, so now how do we solve this diabetes epidemic? Okay, basically do the health quiz, the wellness IQ, and then we do the scan like we did with Gina here. And then now what we're gonna see right now, Paul is gonna share the screen. We're gonna take up the voice scan, which show all of the trauma, all of the emotions, all of the colors that Gina prefers, that to switch her from the sympathetic nervous system to parasympathetic nervous system. So go ahead, Paul, and put on the screen, share the screen, and put inner voice scan report.
Yeah.
We're gonna go
Okay.
now through
So
this.
so just one thing before I comment on what you said is when you were talking about when you go into that fight flight mode, right? A lot of people don't totally understand this, but when your body goes into fight flight mode, it redistributes your energy to be effective. And if you feel it's like it thinks there's a big bear chasing you. So what it's going to do, it sends energy to your legs and sends energy to your arms. It gets your adrenal system working and gets your heart beating faster, and you take short breaths because it's focused on you've got to run or fight. Now, when it does that, it cuts off a lot of your other systems. Your digestive system doesn't work. You get kidney problems because your kidney system isn't working because your body isn't thinking you're eliminating things. You're running away from a big tiger,
Absolutely.
right? So it's
Yes.
interesting because one of the issues with Gina is she's got kidney stones. So I know straight away that's known as the fear organ. So she's got fear in her life, and let's face it, fear is a big thing in a lot of people, and that's one reason why their digestive system doesn't work because your body's
Absolutely.
thinking it's sending all energy to your adrenals because it thinks you're going to fight or flight, right? And
Absolutely. You
therefore, the
see,
rest of your
you're right,
body
you're
doesn't work
right,
properly.
right on the button. You know what, Paul? Gut health is not just a gut health.
No,
It's
totally,
brain health. It's
totally.
immune system health. It's kidney health, liver health. You see, everything starts in the gut. And when somebody have kidney stones, what the Western medicine does is they do try to remove it by surgery, try to do ultrasound. All they got to do now is to reduce something called uric acid and bilirubin in the kidney
Yeah,
because if this comes from the poor diet and poor drinking habits. So you gotta find the root cause. Our job here as healthcare practitioners, as the natural doctors, is to find the root cause. What causes kidney stone? What are the red flags? So when we look at this easy scan report for Gina, we're going to be able to put our hands on the red flag and we'll be able to detect why she is not having a healthy kidney. Maybe she's not drinking enough
yeah,
water.
yeah.
Maybe she's
She
not
said she
using.
did. In a health quiz, she said she's drinking enough water. So, but let's go into that scan now. So I'm just going to share this screen.
Yes, yes, please share the screen.
Now
Here's the inner voice report.
this,
So we're gonna scroll
this,
down.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna scroll down here.
what I've
Okay,
done,
okay. This is actually this
I've,
is this is the easy scan report, not the voice scan report. Okay, let's do this since we're here. It
yeah.
shows here food sensitivity or food allergy. So Gina is supposed to be stopping dairy. She has double red flag in the dairy right there. Not only she has to stop cottage cheese, she has to stop cow's milk, ice cream, and butter. No dairy for Gina. And when I tell this, some people say, how am I going to get my calcium? Here's the fact. Cow's milk, cheese, butter, ice cream will actually cause osteopenia and osteoporosis because they're acidic in nature. But if they drink coconut milk, almond milk, rice milk, they're alkaline in nature, they prevent osteoporosis and osteopenia. So the concept of the milk coming from the dairy industry in the US to cause strong bones is totally erroneous. I can challenge any scientist in the world about this. Right, Dr. Harvey? Am I correct, sir? Unmute and
Yes.
tell me if I'm
Yes.
correct, Dr. Harvey.
Now,
I would wonder if she has kidney stones and she drinks all that water, what kind of supplements does she take?
Okay, actually, it's going to show us in a minute here. That's a great question. It's going to show in that scan here what she has allergy towards. And the first cause here is dairy, because dairy protein, the milk protein is called casein, and casein can actually cause kidney stones. And casein can cause phlegm. It can cause mucus. If you wake up in the morning drinking milk, using lots of cheese, you can eat cheese once in a while, it's not a big deal, but every day, and every day drink 3 glasses of milk and use butter, and you eat ice cream every day. If you eat ice cream once a week or twice a week, it's not a big deal. But if you have it every single day and eat cheese every day and drink 3 glasses of milk, you're going to wake up in the morning with phlegm and mucus in your chest. Why does this come from? Casein. And that's what the casein that cause kidney stones. So that's number one cause right there. Now, when you look at the fruits here,
just before we go on, Doctor, just so people are aware, on the top right in the right hand column is your previous scan. That's your initial scan of your body. Then, as Dr. Grant said, it optimizes your energy based on what it picks out as being out of balance. And this is called the current scan. So the current scan here is after it optimizes your energy. And if it's a red in both of these, it means it's chronic. In other words, your body's out of balance.
right on. I'm glad that you added this clarification. So if we see double red, we could not correct it with the frequency from the scan. So we have to use lifestyle to correct this problem. Right on, Paul. Oh, you see, Paul is not just the health wizard. He's now becoming the AO scan wizard. He's really doing, and he's only been using this for a couple of months. It's not that long to know all of this stuff. Okay.
The other comment I want to make about, and I know you've said this before, is sometimes people put too much fruit into their smoothie in the morning, which means they've got too much sugar because of the fructose in the sugar in the fruit.
Yes.
So sometimes you've got to be wary if you're eating too much fruit, right?
Absolutely. That in the wellness IQ, we recommend 8 portion vegetables to 2 fruits. I've seen people doing a smoothie, 1 cup of berry, 1 cup of strawberry, and 1 banana, and very little spinach or carrots. That is supposed to be the opposite. We should have 8 parts of vegetables and 2 parts of fruit to minimize fructose or fructosamine that can actually cause high blood sugar. It can cause insulin resistance. That can be a precursor for full-blown diabetes and obesity. Absolutely, you're right, Paul. So Gina is supposed to minimize blackberry, cranberry, and orange at this time because your body very sensitive to this. Is chronic, as Paul was mentioning. You also have what's called grain sensitivity. We call it celiac. So you have to minimize oats and you have to minimize wheat and all of the other grains, because if the device could not correct this with frequency, that means you have chronic celiac disease or gut dysbiosis. So there's not a single drug or a single supplement that will fix this. You have to, of course, you can take prebiotics, probiotics, postbiotics, but if you eliminate the grains, you tell your body you can go now and rest, because the body is starving to solve this gluten sensitivity and the grain sensitivity, but it cannot. Even if you take digestive enzymes, you cannot solve this. So she has to stop the grains and also legumes and seafood. So you have to SEE the seafood. You do not eat SEA. You have to just see it. But no fish, lobster, or shrimp for now, at least for the next 3 months until your body get rid of all of this seafood allergies, and especially the pike and the trout, and no nuts. So especially hazelnut. You can do the other nuts in, like, let's say walnut, maybe 5 to 10 walnuts per day, not half a jar of walnuts. And watch for cocoa. Cocoa is in every chocolate. Cocoa, see, cocoa is very healthy drink and healthy plant, but for you, Gina, is uh, out of your reach now because you have chronic sensitivity toward cocoa. And same with onion. Onion itself is very healthy for the liver, same as garlic, but for you, Gina, is not. Everybody's like, this is personalized scan. It's not for everybody. So we're now talking about Gina's reaction to onion. It's very bad here. She's gonna get, if she eats onion, she's gonna get gas, bloating, indigestion, and then nothing will help her except she minimize or eliminate onions. Next one is egg yolk. She has very highly sensitive to egg yolk and gelatin. So maybe you want to minimize the egg yolk for the next 3 months or so. So we're gonna scroll down, Paul, and see what else we can talk here about Gina. Okay, the LDL here is high. So I guess from the wellness quiz that she's done, she must be eating, unhealthy food, fried food, fast food, processed food, canned food, all of the stuff that can cause the problem with LDL cholesterol. And then she needs more omega-3. So the reason we have red and red here, she has low omega-3, especially DHA and EPA. So she needs DHA, DPA, and EPA. All of those three are the essential omega-3 fish oil or omega-3. Let's scroll down, Paul, please. Go down. Okay, I'm sure everybody here on the call, if you're interested in wellness, you know what chakras are. This is from Ayurvedic medicine, India. These are the healthy, basically energy centers in your body. If you can think of chakras as the circuit breaker in your house, this is what it is. In most people, I see 3 or 4 red flag. So Gina's chakra here is very healthy. She only have 1 single red. I usually see lots of double reds in the chakra for people that I scan, and their wellness IQ is under 40%. In case of Jeremy, he had 4 double reds, and today he has not a single red flag, 0 red. He was all green. Like working with me for 3 months, yeah, his diabetes reversed, no diabetes, no obesity. He lost, by the way, 33 pounds in 3 months. That is 10 pounds of fat per month. His wellness IQ went from 33 to 88, and his sugar went from 450 to 95. And no more amputation required. He has a feeling from the knee down. Amputation is canceled, and the doctor put in his file, no longer diabetic. So the only challenge here with Gina is a problem with solar plexus, that's in the stomach, that may indicate acid reflux, gut dysbiosis, grain sensitivity like celiac disease, or anything. So if you go to a physician in Australia and she have acid reflux, what happened now, they put her on Nexium, Pentaloc, omeprazole. By the way, I studied allopathic medicine, Western medicine. I studied natural medicine, integrative functional lifestyle medicine. I know both kind of medicine. I've been practicing, all of these things. So the best way to fix solar plexus is to get rid of the red flags and then use pre, pro, and postbiotics. Make sure when you use pre, postbiotics, they're acid stable and shelf stable. Do not buy any pre or postbiotics that require refrigeration because those friendly bacteria die in the fridge. How do I know this? I'm also a microbiologist. I'm a toxicologist. You can see my bio at theacademyofwellness.com. All right. And if you are a microbiologist or toxicologist or any of these fields, please do not try to arm wrestle me because I have a huge biceps here and I have 3 doctorate degrees. So forget about that. Just listen to me. All right. So this is all good news for Gina. She has only a single red flag that can be simply fixed with pre, pro, and postbiotics and digestive enzymes, eliminating the food allergies. That's simple. Very simple. No medications, operation, radiation, amputation, or any complications. Simple stuff. Prevention is better than intervention, self-care, and instead of crisis care. Okay, let's go now for the meridians, which is Chinese medicine. This is all
just for the people who haven't seen this explains what each meridian is about. So if you're out of balance in a particular chakra, you can come down and look at it. Like for solar plexus, it says diabetes, which is obviously a problem she's got. Right. Nervousness, low energy.
That's a very good point, Paul, because we have to really mention this. Solar plexus actually affect diabetes, which is hyperglycemia, high blood sugar, And then hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar. You don't want to have low blood sugar. You don't want to have high blood sugar. You want to have insulin stable, so you don't have insulin resistance. Okay. By the way, Paul, you already know that I was the first scientist in the world to indicate that type 3 diabetes is called dementia. So if you have any problem with diabetes, you're going to end up with dementia. This is predictable. I have several papers published on this. If you email me at my email address, I can send you the paper. I think Paul has a copy of my paper. You can just ask him. He can send it to you, or you can go to my website. You have my email there. I'm more than happy to send you. So here's Gina's solar plexus, which is single red, diabetes, hypoglycemia. Even it's temporary by using too much fruits in her smoothie. Gallstones in the gallbladder. Why the gallbladder gets affected? Because the liver gets affected from too much sugar. And then the first organ after the liver is going to be the gallbladder, and it's going to form gallstones. And some physicians actually remove the gallbladder because of this reason, but that's not the answer. The answer is to stop having gallbladder issues. You got to detox your gallbladder by drinking water with lemon, apple cider vinegar. It's all under Wellness IQ. Detox water, adding lemon, apple cider vinegar, baking soda, turmeric, ginger, cayenne pepper, and also Himalayan salt to clear your kidney, to prevent kidney stones, and to clear the detox the liver, detox the gallbladder. Very simple things that you have in your kitchen anywhere in the world. You can do this. Okay, so what else? Solar plexus, gallstones, nervousness, low energy, muscle cramps, because when people have problem with solar plexus and indigestion, they have problem with magnesium that cause muscle cramps. And if you go to any physician anywhere in the Western world and you complain about muscle cramp, they put you on medication to stop muscle cramps, but that's not dealing with the root cause. That's just suppressing symptoms of the real cause for muscle cramps is problem with solar plexus, problem with gut health. As Paul was talking about, gut health is everything else health in the organs. So you got to focus on gut health as the main thing here. Stomach problem, again, acid reflux, lumbar. Paul talking about this. If you have problem with the lumbar, something like you have lack of support or lack of posture, proper posture, or lack of proper sleep position. Never sleep on your stomach. You got to sleep on your back and sides. That's very important to improve your lumbar and lower back. Liver disorder. Anytime you have soda or like any beverage that's not water, it can cause liver problem. Of course, too much caffeine. You can have 1 or 2 black coffee a day. That's no problem. But the minute you add milk and you add sugar to the coffee, it becomes now not healthy. Coffee itself, the black coffee, is very healthy for the brain. It's very good. It has phytonutrients. Okay. But if you add the milk and you add the sugar, some people add 2 to 3 teaspoons of sugar in the coffee. That's not very healthy. Paul talked eloquently about the sugar and the sugar addiction. And by the way, did you know, Paul, that sugar addiction is more strong than cocaine addiction?
Yeah.
It can activate 4 centers and brain neurotransmitters in the brain, especially dopamine, acetylcholine, beta endorphins. And I'm happy to tell you, of course, Paul knows this, and Dr. Harvey and Marisol know that I was the first scientist to isolate beta endorphins in 1981 in the Faculty of Pharmacy and Medicine, Saskatchewan. So when you hear the word beta endorphins, remember that we were the first team in the world to do that. I'm not saying this to brag, but I'm telling you, I'm not just a pretty face. Like, I really done 55 plus years of research. And I was interested in this since I was 18 years young after this mom episode dying at 45 years young. Okay, so that's the solar plexus. And we can reverse this very simply by what Paul suggested to Gina. Let's now go to the Chinese meridians, which is the wires in your body. Oh, look at this. No red flag. Good. Let's keep going down. Everything is good here. Okay, so the heart. That means Gina does not do 50 to 60 minutes of aerobic or weight exercise per day. So she's missing cardiovascular fitness, which is so critical and so important. So I'm sure it did show up in her wellness quiz in the test. I'm sure it shows that lack of exercise, which can affect the heart.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going down to see any other red flag here. She's a healthy young woman here. There's nothing else. No double reds. I see lots of double reds, even for some young people.
Yes,
Okay,
it's only
so
really a
that's
heart.
good.
Yeah.
Just heart. Okay, just increase the exercise and have a healthy heart and eat healthy heart foods like artichoke, beets, broccoli. All of these green vegetables are good for the heart. It has nutrients. and it affects the cardiovascular fitness. And as Paul was talking about eloquently before, do the deep belly breathing every hour, 25 and 10 belly breath. And Paul explained to you how you do the 5-5-5 method. And then you got to put it on your cell phone. Every hour it buzz. You stop everything that you're doing. You can even do it while you're on Zoom. Nobody will see that you're doing the belly breathing when you do the Zoom. I'm actually doing it right now. I'm speaking with you. Doing the belly breathing. So when you inhale, the stomach will go out. When you exhale, the stomach will go in. Okay. Okay. So Gina is very healthy here for chakras and for the meridians. Okay. Let's keep going down. Discover some more secrets.
Just before we go down, I'm going to get Gina to. She told me this story about what happened to her heart after her husband died. So Gina, just pass on that story about your heart.
And that is what causes grief. And
Yeah.
the grief, nervousness can affect sympathetic nervous system that can indirectly affect the heart. That's a great point, Paul. But we're going to find this out when we do the inner voice scan report. We'll see how much grief, because some people grieving for 6 months, 1 year, even 2 years, they're still grieving. And that affect the heart. So we're going to see all of this in her inner voice scan. But this is show only red flag in her body, physically and mentally. And then Paul also sent Gina the complete comprehensive scan, which you're going to see in a minute here, and the complete vitals, which show all of the good, bad, and ugly thing in her system. Right now, we're only detecting the red flags, the bad things in the vitals, and little later, we're going to see the comprehensive. So keep going down. She's very healthy here. And that shows both
this talks about each of the meridians. So she will look at the heart meridian.
Yeah, let's look at the heart and go ahead, Paul, and read it out loud for us, please. Go ahead.
Emotional links, feeling unloved, unlovable, withholding love from others, forgiveness issues, anger, emotional pressure. Gina, do you want to make a comment on those since you had a problem with your heart after your husband died?
Yeah, what I was telling Paul is that a little bit before he died, I got a lot of different news, and it was so unexpected because he was supposed to be healthy. And the moment I received the news that basically he was dying, I felt like somebody had ripped, my heart out of my chest. I physically felt pain. And a month after he passed, I had this big, awful episode where they couldn't regulate my blood pressure. It had dropped a lot. And they took me to the hospital and they thought I was having a heart attack. I was having a panic attack. That's what I was having. And I've been working with my heart ever since the beginning of November because I knew that there was something there. And I know how it felt because I felt it. It was physical. It was awful. So I've been trying to work on that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Gina, for that explanation. And actually, that's why they call the heart meridian the king of the organs. Actually, what you described now, showing the physical and the emotional aspect, which Paul was reading the emotional. Look at the physical here, spleen. That affects the spleen, which makes white blood cells. It affects the immune system. And pancreas, that actually control your blood sugar and neuropathy in your body. Look at this. And then the blood and lymph composition. And acid in the stomach because you're eating the grains, you're eating the stuff, the food that causes the allergy that produce acid. So if you want to any Western physician in Australia, they're gonna say, "Oh, no problem. Put you on, Nexium or Pentaloc or Meprazole." That is not the root cause. The root cause is you're gonna fix the heart meridians here. You're gonna fix the stomach from. Do you understand? Like, I'm glad that you met Paul. He is not only the health wizard. He's the new nickname. He's the biofeedback scan wizard. He's the AO, frequency wizard. He's more than a wizard now. Okay, and fluid regulations, it affects electrolytes and the fluid. You can see here from the heart meridians, it shows fluid regulations. It affects all of the other organs, which is the liver, the gallbladder, the kidney, and that's why you have kidney stones. You see, everything is related. So, and then that's why the house of the spirit. It's called in Chinese Qin. So the heart is the house of the spirit. That's how you hold your mental and physical emotions right there, Gina. You see, if somebody tell you that Paul scan is hocus pocus and it does not have any scientific validation, tell them to go to a hell in a handbasket because they're so ignorant and arrogant. If any physician disputed that, show them that this was 100% accurate from your explanation and also from all of the stuff that we discussed here. Okay, Sanjay has to go. We understand that. That's fine. You're gonna get the recording. Paul is gonna send you the recording. Sanjay, thank you for joining us, my friend.
Thank you.
Okay, so excellent. So okay, stop here now. Digestion. You see now we're gonna discover Gina's secret now. Gastric absorption is red and red. You see here? So she's not producing gastric juice. She's not digest. By the way, for all of you now who see this, make sure when you eat the food, make sure you actually chew it first 20 times in the mouth, because the mouth have the teeth, the stomach do not have teeth. I've seen people inhaling their food because in the breakfast in the morning, they're rushing to get to work and they just inhale their cereal. First of all, the cereal is toxic. It has lots of sugar, and they inhale it, go in the stomach, undigested because there is no chewing there. And then now you have acid reflux. And what's the answer? Go to a physician and they put them on the toxic medications. So chew your food to improve digestion. Take the pre and pro and postbiotics. Take digestive enzymes. Stop all of the allergy that cause digestion. Next one. She has low in manganese. She has low in omega-3 EPA. You can see that. And then the emotional stability, you can see here red and red. And Gina explained that eloquently and crystal clear. You know, I'm very happy that, and by the way, see what Paul is doing here? If you're not a doctor, you're not a practitioner, you click on emotional stability, it will tell you what it is. This device is not diagnostic device. We never say it with diagnosing disease. Dr. Harvey, Marisol, and Paul, we do assessment for educational purpose only. We do not diagnose. Yes, I did work for the FDA. I did work for the CDC. I did work for Health Canada. I'm an integrative medical doctor. I have a license to practice that. I can legally diagnose, but I never use the word diagnosis. I don't want to get step on anybody's toes here. See, we do assessment. And then if you don't know what any of this term means, like what Paul here is clicking at, emotional stability. Read out loud, please, Paul, for them.
This is the strength of your emotions. It's your ability to handle difficulties in your life and to understand and have empathy for others. Emotional stability starts from you. You need to learn to control the way you feel and not let people control it for you.
Okay.
And Jen is smiling.
And Gina explained eloquently and crystal clear to everybody here. She's been in grieving for her husband. How young was your husband when he died, Gina?
He was 67.
Okay, 67 years young. I'm 74 right now. If God gave me another 25 years to reach the 100, I want to help more than what I helped so far, 25,000. I want to help 50,000 people. My goal in life, Gina and Paul, Dr. Harvey and Marisol and all of the other friends from Australia here, is not to have a teenagers losing their mom at age 45 years young or losing their dad at age 60 years young. And I don't want to have no mother and no woman losing their husband at age 67, because the average lifespan for a man is about between 75 to 80. So he died younger than his actual age, the actual legal age. And we're supposed all to live to the age of 100, 111, or 121. Now, believe me, I've written a book on this topic, even though I had very bad genes from both parents and grandparents and grandparents. None of my family history ever lived beyond 60. Everybody died before 60 in my probably 6, 7 generation, as far as I know from what mom and dad told me. Okay, so I'm the first one. If I live to the age of 100, I'll be the first one probably in the 100 generation that ever did that. So you know what? Have a goal to live longer, healthier, stronger, happier, just not for yourself, but to help other people too. I hope this is the goal for Gina, for Paul, Marisol, Dr. Harvey, and all of the other friends from Australia and New Zealand on the call. Great. Thank you, Gina, for sharing this with us. And I'm so proud of you. You have a healthy chakras, a healthy meridians to make you live healthy till age 120. I'm telling you right now, if you follow all my advice on the Wellness IQ, you follow Paul's advice, and everything we're talking about here, there's nothing will prevent you from living longer and healthy and helping more people in Australia. I'm sure you're going to be our wellness advocate. You're going to tell everybody about Paul, the healthy wizard, the biofeedback wizard, and the AO scan wizard, and Dr. Grant from Canada, and Dr. Harvey from Dallas, and Marisol from California, and all of the other health practitioners on the call.
Gina actually lives in Mexico. She actually comes from Mexico.
Oh, I need somebody who speaks Spanish and teach me Spanish, because you remember what Dr. Harvey talking about Hispanics? In Mexico, there's a problem with diabetes, obesity, and we need to help people in Mexico. You know what, Gina? If you know anybody in Mexico, please let them know. By the way, I'm going to be in Mexico in November. I'd like to meet you in person. I will let you know which part in Mexico I'll be visiting. Okay, it's a very good resort there. And then I hope I can meet you in person. All
She
right,
lives quite,
Gina?
she lives quite close to Texas, I think.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, great.
I
All
live
right.
right below Texas, the state that is
Okay,
right below.
okay, great. Wonderful. So, yeah, Corpus, I guess Texas is big, but if you just go as far south in Texas, you hit Mexico, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. So that's wonderful, Gina. So please, you get my email there on my website, academyofwellness.com. Stay in touch with me, communicate with us, Dr. Harvey and Marisol and myself, and then we'll help you out. And then if you ever come to Toronto, please come and see us. Maybe you can attend our retreats from September 1 to September 8. Okay, my dear, this is wonderful. So let's look now. We went through the cardiovascular, went through the collagen, we went through the eye health. Do you wear glasses or contacts? You do?
Yes, I
Okay,
do. That's my worst issue right now that I have. I'm having a lot of issues with my eyesight.
okay, we're gonna reverse that. I used to wear glasses myself, and I no longer wear them, and so we're gonna fix this naturally. All right, there is no need for cataract, glaucoma, macular degenerations, and and we'll fix this problem within 90 days. We're gonna fix that. Hormones, of course, at your young age, you're gonna have hormonal fluctuations. You're gonna have problem with menopause. You're gonna have problem with human sex hormones and human growth hormones. We're gonna fix all of that. Don't depend on anything. Like, do not go to any physician to give you any synthetic hormones that comes from the horse urine, which, like, you know what I'm talking about, right? Progestin and all of the other stuff. Unless if you're trying to compete in the Kentucky Derby, that's a different story. If you want to be a better horse, okay, it comes from the horse urine. So we take natural progesterone cream, natural black cohosh, natural Don Quai. See, everything I do here is natural recommendation. So if you ever suffer from hot flashes, night sweats, perimenopause, or any of this stuff, we'll help you with that. Kidney, the kidney stones. Why? Because you have BUN, blood, urea, nitrogen. That's what cause ketones. That's what cause high uric acid. So once we understand this, once we understand your acid food that cause blood, urea, nitrogen, then we're going to fix this problem naturally. Everything is reversible by reversing lifestyle. It's not that rocket science. By the way, you don't have to be as wizard as Paul or as Dr. Harvey or Marisol or me. Just read what you see on in front of your eyes here. Just look at this skin. Okay, you have greasy skin. Is that right, Gina?
I actually tend to have really dry areas in my skin.
Okay, if you have dry skin, it can actually come because lack of hydration. It can eventually cause, after you have chronic dry skin, you may have also greasy skin because you're eating too much grease. So you're gonna cut all of the bad food, no frying food from now on, no frying, and no fast food. Okay, I know KFC and McDonald's and all of this fast food reached Mexico already, and it's reached in every country in the world. So do not go there. Eat your food from your kitchen. Eat slow food in your kitchen, not fast food. Okay, because slow food will make you age slowly. Fast food will make you age faster. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
My
good.
issue is a lot of canned food and a lot of frozen food just to make it easier to cook. That's what I.
Frozen food is healthier than canned food, healthier than fast food, healthier than processed food. So, because frozen is basically it's the same vegetables that's been flash frozen, and then you thaw it and then you eat it. So, frozen is okay. Canned food, I don't
Mhm.
recommend it that much. If you eat it once or twice a week, it's not a big deal. But if you depend on eating canned food all the time, it's not good. Fresh fruits, fresh vegetables is the best. Okay, thank you, Paul, for showing us the greasy skin. Okay, let's keep going down now quickly here. Bacteria, it shows exposure to this bacteria, Neisseria, and all of the stuff that just come from your food. Not, by the way, some people do not actually rinse their vegetables in warm water for 10 minutes with vinegar and baking soda. They only rinse it, not soak it. You gotta soak it for 10-15 minutes in warm water because the manure have all of this bacteria and fungus and parasites. And people have parasites because they eat raw fish. Do you eat sushi, Gina?
Not lately. There's a lot of things I haven't eaten in a while because of the health scare that I had last year.
Okay. By the way, if you eat sushi once in your lifetime, once, you're gonna have the
Yeah.
parasites listed there. Once
I used
all of these
to a
parasites
lot.
come from raw fish. Yeah, so we need to detox that. So we need to detox hookworms. I have one lady, she called me, she's so scared. She saw in her stool 12-inch of worm still moving in the toilet alive from her body. And she said, what do I do? I said, I asked her, how often do you eat sushi? She said, oh, just 3 times a week. I said, lady, you cannot eat sushi. She's like, this is too much. And then will grow in not only hookworm, but she is gonna grow scaris. She's gonna grow tapeworm. Tapeworm come from raw fish. Tape, like it's not only 12-inch. Sometimes the people have 24 inches. Can you imagine 2 foot of tapeworm living inside their body from raw? And when I told her to stop the sushi, she did. And I told her to soak her vegetables in warm water because the manure has all of these parasites. She stopped having all of this red flag in her body. You see, Paul, Dr. Harvey, and Marisol and I detect the root cause of your problem, your parasites. If you eat sushi once or twice in your lifetime, if you did not eat for the last 3 months, congratulations, bravo, don't touch it anymore. If somebody invited you for sushi, Dr. Grant said no sushi because he knows where I live in Mexico. If he saw me eating sushi, he's gonna come with a baseball bat. Okay. All right. It was a joke. I don't know where you live in Mexico. Anyway, I tell people sushi is out of your diet. And if you wanted to have vegetables, soak it before you rinse it to get rid of the manure. Because the manure has not only the parasites, it has the pesticides. By the way, US leading the world for organophosphate, the pesticides. I don't think they use that much pesticide in Australia. Correct me if I'm wrong, Paul.
No,
Not as not as much as the US, right? Yeah, but you gotta soak your vegetable 10 minutes. That gets rid of the pesticides, parasites, fungicides, bacteria. All of this stuff can be relieved. Oh, virus, you only have influenza A and B, which is a flu that comes in 48 hours and go, but you have no other viruses. So these are the red flag in her vitals report. Now we're gonna discover the comprehensive report, very similar to MRI. Now, if somebody living in the US and they do a single organ MRI, it costs them $5,000 US. How much is the MRI in Australia, Paul, if you do a single organ MRI in Australia?
It's usually between $500 to $1,000.
Oh, so it's still $1,000, so that's expensive. Now, for this scan here, we do MRI from head to toe. So this is like almost like it's equivalent to about 100,000 US if you think about all of the organs of the body, and without using the MRI dye that is carcinogen in nature. So when physicians do MRI anywhere in the world, they have to inject it to use a contrast for the MRI. Now, if Paul now or me or Dr. Harvey or Marisol want to increase the contrast, we just go with your hands like this and increase the contrast by moving the mouse, and then we can increase the contrast here. So this is the best MRI you can do it, and it correlates with the other MRI by 98%, but no carcinogenic dye and no risk of any kind. So here's the first problem with the anterior cut in the heart here, the pulmonary trunk. This is what happened because of lack of exercise and because of the stress that she has physically and emotionally because of her husband passing away at age 67. So that affected the pulmonary trunk. Is it reversible? Yes. 99.99% of all disease can be reversed by reducing stress and improving lifestyle. As simple as that. Paul talked about this eloquently, and we talked to Gina about that. Here's the top heart cut, pulmonary valve again. That means Gina is not doing belly breathing. So, Gina, can you show us how you breathe, please? Show me how you breathe. Go ahead. Go on the screen here and show me how you breathe.
Okay.
Yeah. Take a deep breath, please, for me. Come on, breathe, Gina. You're not breathing.
Okay.
Because when you breathe, I have to hear you breathing, and I have to see the belly going out, not the chest. Okay, watch me here. You're going to hear me, and you're going to see me. So you're going to hear my deep breathe, the stomach going out when I inhale, the stomach go in when I exhale. Do it like me now for only very quickly 5 belly breath. Takes 5 seconds. Go ahead. I want to hear you. I want to see you. Go. No, the chest is rising, Gina. I don't want to see the chest rising. I want to see the belly rising.
Okay.
Do it like what Paul exactly explained to you. Okay?
Yeah.
I want to hear you. I want to see you. Go. I don't hear you, Gina. Come on, do it with oomph. Some more oomph. Give it energy
Really
so you can get
breathe.
more oxygen. If somebody breathes like Gina, which is almost like 80%, 85% of my clients, they have hypoxia, lack of oxygen in the brain. Lack of oxygen in the brain of hypoxia causes fatigue. It causes snoring at night. It causes sleep apnea. It causes dementia because lack of oxygen in the brain causes dementia. And what other things cause dementia is diabetes. Type 3 diabetes is dementia. So by doing the belly breathing,
I cannot take the deep breath like fast because I had an issue a few years ago through a surgery where I actually stopped breathing and I had to do rehabilitation because for a while I couldn't do the deep breathing. So
okay,
I have to take, it takes a while and it has to be slow. So it goes
okay.
all the way to my
I have
abdomen.
I got the solution for you, Gina. Do this 10
Okay.
belly breath lying down in a bed, relaxing, because when you lie down, you'll be able to maneuver this. So you're not going to do it
Yeah.
now. You're going to do it later. And then every hour you stop everything and go on the bed, lying down and do the 5 belly breath, like what Paul explained to you. Thank you, my dear. And that will fix the pulmonary valve that causes your breathing. It helped that. Not only the lungs, help also the heart. And here's your productive female organs. It shows here the ovarian, the left ovaries is not healthy. Have you done any pap smears or you went to gynecologist? They told you left ovaries is bad?
Um, I went last year and they told me basically they didn't tell me a lot. I just started perimenopause and I started with that. And that's the reason I
Yes.
really was going,
Yes.
too.
Unfortunately, Dr. Harvey have to leave us. But Dr. Harvey, I'm gonna email you the recording. Paul is gonna send me this recording. I email it to you and Marisol, and then I'll email it to also to Gina when I get her email. When you email me, please send me the email to get work together. Okay, so this can be reversed by stopping any dairy because anything that has dairy, it has hormones and antibiotics that will affect your ovaries. And when you eat any chicken or meat, make sure it's organic. I'm sure in Mexico they have organic chicken and organic meat, and they have almond milk and coconut milk. Okay,
I
so
don't do dairy. Yeah.
oh, good. I'm glad that will fix that part. Okay, thyroid. Now it shows here that the problem with connective tissue related to thyroid. So let me ask you: did they get cold hands, cold feet, or you lose hair?
Yes. I have very cold feet
Okay, this is to do with
and cold
thyroid.
hands.
Okay, so are you taking any medication for thyroid? Has any doctor in Australia, sorry, in Mexico, told you that you have thyroid problem?
No.
So they missed the mark. Have they told you have pre-diabetes or diabetes?
I have diabetes. Yeah.
Okay, so are you on metformin or insulin?
Metformin.
Okay, did the physician in Mexico told you that metformin is actually potential carcinogen? It causes cancer? Did he tell you this?
No.
Do some research and you can take my word now. I'm a toxicologist too. So once you email me, I'm gonna give you all of the stuff, and then I'm gonna tell you how to get rid of metformin within 3 months, like I helped Jeremy in Kentucky. So we're gonna help you to reverse all of this stuff without taking any metformin or insulin or gabiride or any actose or any of the stuff. Okay, so this is a comprehensive health assessment as Paul was showing us here, and it shows all of the holistic health, and it shows everything that we're doing here. So this is why this comprehensive scan is priceless. You cannot put a price like we only charge $250. This is priceless. And here's the kidney stones, right kidney especially is affected by this the ketones and the uric acid, and this is what causes a problem. In fact, you have more pain in your right kidney than your left kidney, and that you have more stones
Actually,
from.
when I do, I mean, it's not as bad as it used to be. A couple of years ago, I had them removed from my left kidney. And it's usually when I have a tiny bit of pain, which doesn't happen very often anymore, is on my left kidney.
And because you have pain in your left kidney, the right kidney will take over and do double work over time, and that's why the right kidney now needs some help because the right kidney doing all of the overtime for the left kidney. That makes sense. Perfect sense. And you actually can see the size of the right kidney here is bigger than the left kidney. You see that? You see that? You see that? This right one is bigger than the left one, although it's supposed to be the same weight, the same, size. but now this anomaly, and that's what this comprehensive test shows, which is amazing. It's amazing, amazing accurate test. Okay, if you do MRI on your kidney, check it with this and see. Okay, muscle. Yeah, problem.
One thing about the kidneys, when many years ago, I did the right one has been bigger for a while, for like 20 something
Well,
years,
that's what
maybe
it
going
shows
on to
here.
30.
Oh, amazing,
Yeah,
amazing, Gina.
because
That's what it shows right here.
they were gonna take it out. They were gonna take out my kidney, and a doctor decided that he was gonna do. At the time, they were starting with this surgery. There was like a new thing, and they didn't do any cutting. They just went through. They removed the stones one by one, and they drained it for a month,
Good.
and
I'm
it
glad.
kind of bounced back, but it ended up being a bit bigger.
And that actually confirmed what you've been telling me, because the right kidney here is bigger than the left kidney. You see the size here? You see the diameter is much bigger. So
Yeah.
what you said here is accurate. So if somebody in Mexico tells you, forget about this stats, forget about Paul, Dr. Grant, they don't know anything. You just have to come and we have to remove your kidney. Tell them, don't do it. Stay away from me. Okay.
Yeah.
No medications, no operation, none of this stuff. Okay, let's look at the muscles here. You got on your right shoulder some pain there that can cause problem with the right shoulder and also with your neck. And then you have pain in the right there in the lower abdomen. It's in the lower back on the left side, on the right side there. So you have pain in those two areas. Can you confirm that, Gina, by putting your hand on your right shoulder and press on the shoulder joints? Right, yeah, on the right one.
It's on the left.
On your right.
Okay, if you have pain in your left shoulder, then the right shoulder will compensate and will cause even more pain. Would you like me? Okay, I tell you what, I tell you what, Gina, can you move your neck all the way to the right side? As far as you can go, all the way to the right side.
Right side.
No, not tilt it like this. Move it like this. Like move your neck like that.
Like your face.
Like this. Right side.
Like this? Right side. That's my right side.
No, not like this. No, like you have to move your neck all the way.
Turn your
all the
face
way
around.
Okay. I cannot see you because I'm on my phone, but like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, do it. So how far do you reach on the right side, Gina? Can your chin touch your shoulder? Show me, please, Gina. Can your right chin touch your shoulder? Yes or no?
Almost.
Yeah.
Good. That's almost there. Okay, now go on the left side, please, Gina. On the left side, and tell me, does your chin reaches your shoulder?
No.
It's easier. I mean, it's a bit easier. It doesn't bother me. The other one, it took a lot more of like a stretch. Yeah.
Okay, so what's telling me right now, Gina, is your right side better than your left side? Your range of motion on the right side better than your left side, correct?
Yeah. Right now, yes.
Because the right side you can move, your range of motion is perfect, but the left side you're locked, your neck is locked. Would you like me to fix this for you right now? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just gonna cost you $1,000 because I charge. If you can ask Marisol, I met her in Salt Lake City. I did this bicranial kinesiology for her. Marisol, you want to unmute and tell Gina how did I fix your neck in less than a minute and a half, 2 minutes, Marisol?
How we like this one?
Yes. Okay, Gina, do like what?
One?
Okay. No, you gotta do it step by step for Gina. Okay. So Gina, do it like Marisol now. Shoulder shrugs up 5 times. Go ahead, Marisol. No, not this first. No. Marisol, shoulder shrugs first.
Stretch shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. And then forward.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And up and down 5. No, up and down. Yeah. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5.
Then you can move your neck now with your hands. Go ahead. Put your hands on it. 1.
I put my the back of the hand on the left side here, and then the right hand.
Show her how to do
here.
5 times. Just show her. Take a minute.
2,
1,
3.
No. You're doing it wrong. You gotta go down and then up. Down.
1. I forgot.
You forgot.
Okay.
Okay. Hold your head. You're gonna go down.
Okay.
Down. And then up.
Up. Down. Oh yes. Up.
Keep,
down,
yeah,
up
up.
2, 3,
3, 4,
4,
and 5.
5.
Other
And then
hand,
the other
other
side.
side.
1,
1. Gina, do the same thing like Marisol now. 2,
2,
3,
3,
4,
4,
5.
5.
This is called
Okay.
biocranial kinesiology. Okay, good. Excellent, Marisol. Okay, Gina, were you able
Thank
to do
you.
this? Were you
It
able to do this,
cracked.
Gina?
Yeah, it actually cracked.
Oh, you're doing self-correcting. Exactly. By cracking, that means you're doing self-correcting. That is good news, Gina. That is good news. Okay, so you got to do this 3 times a day. By doing this
Okay.
now, you're going to fix that. So let me test you now after doing this for 1 minute. Move your neck now to the right side, which was good. Go ahead. Move your neck back to the right side like you did before. Oh, it's even perfect now. It's
Yeah.
good. It's you move further even. Good. Now to the left side that was locked. Go ahead now. Oh,
More,
it's
more,
fixed.
definitely more. Yeah.
Amazing. Gina, are you trying to compete with Paul here to be the health wizard in Mexico or something? Are you trying to compete with Dr. Grant and Mary Sol? What's going on here, Gina? Are you going to be our next doctorate students here or something?
Well
Gina,
done.
you're amazing. How's your neck feeling, my dear?
Actually, a lot better. I was telling Paul that before my husband passed, I had very bad issues with my upper back, shoulders, arms, and I couldn't close my hands. Like my
Yes,
fingers will get stuck. I couldn't do this.
yes.
But the
That's what it
moment
shows
he,
up. Yeah,
I
that's what it
couldn't
shows
even
right here.
sleep.
Yeah,
And the
right
moment
shoulder.
he passed, and the
Yes.
moment he passed, I was able to sleep. I was able to move. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do. The day he passed, the next day, I was able to move.
Because
So I'm
you
getting.
relieve and relieve the stress. I'm so happy that you did that because I'll tell you what, Gina, if you have some problem with closing your hands like this, get one of those stress balls and keep squeezing the stress ball. That will fix actually the strength in your hands and it fixes the wrist and so on. It will prevent any of the carpal tunnel syndrome. So by doing this, so this actually shows what you just been telling us: pain in the right shoulder and pain in the lower back. You see, once we fix the neck now, you're gonna have the best sleep in your lifetime tonight. And then you're gonna email Paul and me that you had the best night's sleep and there's no neck pain, there's no shoulder pain. And then you connect with us, and then we're going to help you some more by reversing your neuropathy, your diabetes, your all of the other problems. Okay, let's go on for the knee here. It shows that your right knee cracks when you squat because you have the beginning of osteoarthritis. Is that correct?
I had issues with the ligaments in my really early 30s
Right there.
in that
So
knee.
if somebody tell you right now that Paul scan is not accurate, what are you going to tell them in Spanish? You're going to tell them bad words
Oh,
in Spanish?
no, I'm going to tell them crazy because like everything
Exactly.
that I knew was going to be showing up even from many years before is
Yes.
there.
I know. So do you agree with me that Paul is actually a health wizard and he's the AO biofeedback wizard now? Do you agree with me on that?
Yes, of course.
He learned this.
100%.
And by the way, you know what? Paul and I, Gina, can teach you this in Mexico. You can have the app. The app is only $149 per month, and we charge $250 for every scan. And then if you can do the scan for people in Mexico, and then you can actually ask us to join you, ask Paul, Dr. Harvey, and I, and Marisol to join you. You do it in Spanish because me, no hablamos español, but you're going to teach me how to speak Spanish, right?
I
But
actually have a cousin that is a doctor and she specializes in regenerative medicine.
oh my God, you know what, Gina? If you get the app, if you get the app and then you share this with this doctor here, she's gonna be so much grateful because Mexico is not open yet. The company Solax open only in US, Canada, and Australia. They're planning to open Mexico and Brazil next. So you're gonna be the first practitioners who have this app in Mexico, and then as soon as you get more doctors in Mexico, we're gonna open Mexico and Brazil. I have about 100 students from Brazil now using this, and they're gonna be opening Brazil very soon. I don't have anybody in Mexico yet, so maybe you can help me to get in touch with that doctor, and then Paul, we can
Yeah.
help them Forget that. Okay, my dear. So,
Her husband is a neurologist and he does robotic surgery.
oh my God, you know what? Let's team up with, and then you can translate from from my English to the Spanish for them. Okay, so we finished all of that. We're gonna fix the reverses osteoarthritis since you were 30. Within 3 months, you have no more osteoarthritis. You have no more knee pain naturally. No knee surgery, and no knee replacement. Do not ever do that. Ever, ever, ever do that. Now, this is the only device in the world that detects your chromosomes, that detects your DNA, and detects your telomere, how long you're gonna live. The only one device in the world. So now this show problem with chromosome number 9 and your DNA marker number 16, which actually indicates family history of diabetes from father, mother, and grand. You can see Paul is amazing. The following disease are traits of number 9. You see here? You see ALA
Yeah.
deficiency. Look, he already pulled it. I didn't ask him to do this. This guy's genius. He's one of the healer there in Australia. He's probably the top healer in us. He's a healing wizard. Look at this. If you read all of this stuff, this is what the chromosome 9 actually caused you from your family history. You can see all of the syndromes right here. You can see galactosemia is problem to sugar that affect the gallbladder because it has galactose that affect the gallbladder, and Ghrelin syndrome. It has all of the stuff. OCD. It has porphyria, problem with iron. It has Tangier disease. You can Google all of the stuff here. Trisomy number 9. There's 3 chromosomes, and it shows. You know what? You do have family history of this. Probably no doctor in Mexico ever told you this, but the device showed that the only device in the world. But when you share this with your doctor in Mexico, she's gonna say, "Oh my God, I never seen anything like this in my life." In her medical training or in her, you know, residency, she never seen this. And now it shows that eye health. Your left eye is not as healthy as your right eye because your lacrimal gland in your left eye does not produce tears. Is that correct? Right there, left eye. We can fix this under 2 months. This specific supplement that will fix this eye, and then you produce tears, you clean all of these things. And that supplements actually reverses cataract, glaucoma, macular degenerations. You see, what we're talking about here, Gina, is we look at red cause, red flag, and find the natural solution. That's what Paul and I and Dr. Harvey and Marisol do. We find the red cause, the root cause, the red flag, the issues that the person have, and fix it naturally. So let me ask you this. Why don't everybody in Mexico, in Canada, in the US, and Australia do what Paul, me, Dr. Harvey, and Marisol do? Why don't they do that?
To be honest, because a lot of people are too married to the idea of medicine, and they just
Exactly.
want the doctor to give them something so they can go home and take it and feel better about themselves because they're doing the right
100%.
thing.
100%. 100%. Thank you, Sal. He said this is very amazing technology. Thank you for sharing. I unfortunately have to go. Thank you very much. We'll send you the recording, Paul. As soon as Paul send the recording and send it to me, I'll send it to all of you. And then, by the way, you can correct this eye health. And you know what? Every patient in Mexico, Australia, America, expecting a prescription after they visit the doctor. That's expectation. And every doctor, because of 2 words, do not use this technology. And the 2 words are ignorance and arrogance. Paul, do you agree with me on these 2 words for every physician in the Western world, arrogance and ignorance?
Absolutely.
You know what? If they learn, if they pick up what Paul picked in 2 months, only you've been using this for 2 months, as if you've been using it for 20 years, Paul. You're so expert in this. You're gonna be teaching this next time. I only have to teach you this next time. You probably and Marisol can teach you this. You don't need me or Dr. Harvey anymore. Okay, so you've been using it for 2 months only. Is that correct? Am I accurate?
Yep, 6 weeks.
60 days. And then, okay, if everybody in Australia now listening to you, they think that you've been using it for like 10 years or 20 years because you show extreme expertise here. Like you speak science, like you're like a scientist, and very soon you're going to be Dr. Paul Staten, right? You're going to be finishing the doctor with me like Paul, like Marisol here, right? Yes? Say yes.
So we show the voice scan?
No, voice scan is considered the first course toward your doctorate degree. No, we have not finished the scan for Gina yet. Gina, we're going to finish this.
That was the last thing.
Okay, click now on the inner voice scan. Yeah, this one, the inner voice. Okay, scroll down now. We're gonna get her emotions. Keep going down. Click on reports. Yeah, perfect. Okay, here's the Solex. It's the name of the company, and this is Gina Smith right here, August 3rd, 2024. Okay, keep going down. Inner voice. Oh, before you go down, stop. Gina, tell us 4 colors that you like and you're attracted to. 4 colors.
Blue, white,
Gina, 4 colors
uh,
that you like.
purple, and silver or
Sorry,
gold.
what was the first color? What was the first one?
Blue.
Okay, gold, purple, number 3.
White,
No, white
maybe
and black are
green.
not color. White and black are solid.
Well,
I need
then
color
let's
derivatives.
remove white, green.
Green. And number 4, give me one more. Number 4.
I said purple, right? Purple, and the last one would be silver and gold. They don't work, right?
No, silver is like whitish or the gray, and then gold is yellow.
Well, let's go with yellow then.
Okay, yellow. Okay, good. So now, here's a fact before we go on. 15% of the world know their colors, the favorite color, because color has frequency. The other 85%, they have no clue what color they support them. So now we're going to see first your emotions. So scroll down. Now we're going to look at the first emotions here. Here you go. Unacknowledged versus self-validated. If you want to be self-validated, then you're going to use the color on the bottom right. So if you go scroll down, right there, green. You got it. You know you're green. So look at green vegetables. Look at green pictures. Look, wear green color, because green color gives Gina inner balance, harmony, social interactions, and self-acceptance. And it shows here, vitals. Oh my God, that's what you're missing here. In friendly bacteria, intestinal bacteria, and B3 niacin, and coenzyme Q10. So as soon as I get your email, I'm going to tell you how to get this and how to reverse all of this deficiency. Okay, if you go across now, you have emotional pain. Now we understand from why, from the passing of your husband, passing at young 67, lack of self-worth. When you look in the mirror, you do not see the beautiful Gina I'm looking at right now. And everybody tell you, Gina, when you look at your face, they tell you you're so beautiful. But when you look at the mirror, you do not see the beautiful Gina that I'm looking at right now. You see different version of Gina. Is that correct?
I'm working on that. I've been working on
Good.
that, on
But that's
putting
accurate.
myself first and loving myself first. Yeah.
Absolutely. And exactly. And then when you look in the mirror, you said, oh, look at this beautiful, young, healthy, because your skin is so healthy. You actually look from the outside 10 years younger than your actual age, because you drink the water, not the soda. I don't think you touch soda, right?
Very rarely, socially.
Okay, get rid of every soda. Otherwise, I will not work with you. So if you have any canned soda in your house, give it to a neighbor you do not like.
No, I don't have any soda in my house.
Good. So when you go socially, say, I don't drink soda. Dr. Grant would kill me if I heard that. And I'll drink only water. Okay, you got it? Promise? You
Yeah,
promise, Paul?
I take this thing with me everywhere I go.
Beautiful. Well, just water, H2O. Okay, good. Okay, and fear of abandonment. Okay, so it shows amoeba. This is from raw fish or from the any of the vegetables not soaked, from the all of the stuff that comes, all of the junk and gunk come from the manure, the fertilizer that they add, the shitty stuff that they add to vegetables. So when you soak your vegetable, get rid of all of the amoeba. And it shows thyroid hormones. It shows definitely how I show you how to correct this naturally. No need for thyroid medications. And then you have sensitivity to seeds, oil. So do not eat any oil, any seed oil, like canola, mazola, canola oil, corn oil. Do not eat that.
I do avocado. No, I do avocado. Avocado.
Avocado is the
Avocado.
best. Avocado oil is the best oil. That's it. Stick with avocado oil or grapeseed oil. Beautiful. And it shows here across thyroid hormones. We'll fix that. Digestive. We're going to fix it with enzyme. Increase trace minerals. We'll fix that. And lymphatic. Increase hydration. You're supposed to be drinking 12 glasses of water per day, half your body ounces. So try your best to have 3 liters per day. Okay, Gina? Doctor's
Yeah, I'm
order.
doing about. Yeah, I can do more. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, next emotion. Suppress the emotion versus expression. So try to express it by having this color, orange. So that's a color that you did not mention. So have oranges around you and color orange and wear orange. And this is color to support you, give you warmth, enthusiasm, creativity, encouragement, balance, expression, and joy. That's a color that supports you. Okay, and then you're missing the B3, lipase, digest fat. And the B3, by the way, affect everything, every organ, gut health, liver health, kidney health. It will remove kidney stones from your body and B3. And the cost of this B complex, it has B1, B2, B3, all the way to B12 is only $10. It's not that expensive. It has 95% absorption. We'll fix all of this with $10 supplement. Do not buy this from any other place. Just follow my recommendations there. Lipase, digest enzymes, platelets, that affect your immune system. And then it says your emotions. You've been rejected, you felt impatient, and you felt frustration. This is all to do with the passing of your husband, which is very understood. Okay. All right, let's keep going down. And then it shows the imbalance of your kidney, increase hydration. And it says use digestive enzymes, which I'm going to recommend for you. Large intestine, improve digestion, take pre and probiotics. Oh, who is that smart doctor that told you need that? You understand? We detect root cause. If you give you any drug in Mexico, it's not going to solve the problem. You got to take the root cause and solve. And reproductive female organs, reduce stress and do it. Okay, rigid beliefs versus open to possibility. You consider yourself stubborn, Gina?
I used to, but I'm trying to open myself to a lot of things.
Open,
I was
good.
no, I was controlling. I was not stubborn. I was controlling.
Okay, very good. So wear gold. Look at gold color or yellow color. Gold is good really for you because more gold give you love, compassion, courage, wisdom, illumination, and the emotion. You felt guilty, rejection, and unworthiness. We talked about this before. The vitals, the heart. We
My
talked about the
mom.
heart, how it's going to support the heart. Small intestine, the pre and probiotics, the serum globulin. That's from the B complex. Digestive, take pre and probiotics. I said it more than 3 times now. So Gina now got it, and Gina is going to contact us to help you with that. We get it wholesale from the factory. We do not sell supplements, by the way. We get it from the factory. Okay. All right. Endocrine system, reproductive female organs. We talked about that before. Increased trace minerals. We talked about that. Hormones, thyroid hormones will give you healthy thyroid. You don't need any medications. Mold. Do you have any mold in your house, in your sink,
No,
under the sink,
no,
or in the under the bathtub?
I don't
Do
have
you
a
have
bathtub.
Okay? Do you have toenail fungus in your toes, big toe?
I did when my husband passed.
Yeah. By the way,
I
this
never
is not
had it
today.
before.
Okay, what we're showing you now does not have to be today. It can be a week ago, a year ago, 5 years ago. It could be in the past or because this is all the frequency of this potential causes because you're holding the frequency. So if you had it before, it's going to show here. Okay, so that's fine. And then
Yeah, I had
food
it.
sensitive toward sugar. So you cannot touch soda socially because every time you go out and drink soda, you're going to have pre-diabetes, and we need to fix that.
Okay.
Okay. Keep going down, Paul. Okay, repetitive thinking versus creative thinking. So repetitive thinking means you go da 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 da, and blue turquoise. You get the best beaches in the world in Mexico after the beaches in Australia. Otherwise, Paul is gonna be very mad when he hears me telling about that. I just love the beaches in Mexico. I've been there almost like 10 times. I never been to Australia, but now there's a reason for me to visit Australia. I'm gonna visit my health wizard here, Paul, right now. He's going to invite me and he's going to invite 1,000 people to hear Dr. Grant, right, Paul?
Yep. And so we do have the best beaches.
Yes. So blue. Okay, you have no shortage of blue skies in Mexico, blue water, and everything blue. Wear blue, and they give you emotional balance and serenity. Okay, vitals.
Yeah.
You're missing vitamin A. You're missing B9. I'll give you the and the B6 and B3. So give me all of the B for $10. You got to fix all of the stuff here. And emotion, depression. I know, I understand fully depression because of the stuff that you've been through with your husband, and irritability and creative conflict. We know all of that. Hormone, aldosterones and growth hormones and we fix all of that. We discuss all of this stuff here. Imbalance, spine, exercise and stretch. And then kidney, digestive enzymes. We're going to remove all of the kidney stones from your body naturally. And then tendons and ligaments, increase hydration. And do the test, the wellness test that Paul gave you. And when you go to Wellness IQ, you're going to see something called detox water. So visit academyofwellness.com. Write it down, please, Gina. Academyofwellness.com, and it's Wellness IQ. And look at detox water. You're going to start tonight, which is half a spoon of lemon, apple cider vinegar, baking soda, turmeric, ginger, cayenne pepper, and Himalayan salt. That will clean your kidney from all of the kidney stones. It will clean your liver. It will clean your gallbladder by just adding these things. I'm sure it is in your kitchen, right, Gina?
I do turmeric and I do ginger every night.
You're amazing.
So yeah, I have them.
You're gonna stay young looking like this until you reach the age of 120. Okay, my dear? There's lots of life. You have the other half of life you're gonna enjoy. Okay, Paul, next.
That's
Next
it.
one.
That's it. It's the final one.
That's it. Okay, so Paul, we went through the emotions, went through the trauma, we went through all of the stuff, went through the red flag, the food sensitivity, and Paul is going to be also sending you all of the stuff from the Total Vitals report, which is like 75 pages long, the comprehensive report, 85 pages long. You're going to end up with 220 pages long. My goodness, you are so lucky, Gina, to have Paul as your health wizard here, and to have me and Dr. Harvey and Marisol. And you see the combination of the team here. We're trying here to help you to get you the best version and to get you detect your root cause, the red flag in your body. So I finished the health scan. I'm open now to any questions. First from Gina, next from Marisol, and then after that, Hannah. She can ask any question that she wants. Just unmute and ask any questions. So first, Gina, questions about the scan.
Oh,
Did you find that scan to be an eye opener? Is it amazing?
yeah, I mean, honestly, I I was aware that there were a lot of things wrong with me. Like I said, last November, I had a huge health scare at the end of October, and I realized I had to reset. That's the only thing I could do. And a lot of things that showed up in there, they were not a surprise for me because they're things from my past that I'm trying to work on and to.
Okay, Gina, I just want to correct one thing, what you said. There's nothing wrong with Gina. There's just imbalances. There's temporary
Yeah.
imbalances. There's nothing wrong with you. Because if you keep repeating this, I have something wrong, I have something wrong, I have stress, I have this, I have that, you're gonna manifest it. What you think about is gonna manifest. So you have an imbalance. You have just a little bit of out of balance. So if wellness is balance, illness is imbalance. You have certain imbalances. There's nothing wrong with Gina. There's nothing wrong with Paul. Nothing wrong with Marisol. Nothing wrong with Hannah. There's nothing wrong with Dr. Grant. I can assure you that. It's just there's certain everybody have certain imbalances, and we need to balance. We go from
Yeah.
imbalance to balance. Okay, so carry on now. What you've been saying. Ask the question.
Well, I call it a reset. I kind of think of that way, like I'm resetting. You know, I'm okay, but I'm resetting. My question is, do I I have these drops that I'm putting on my eyes every single day. Do I still continue with that on top of what
Yes.
we're gonna do for the eyes? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. You can keep taking the drops. Tap with dry eyes. Tap with any condition in the eye. This is fine. The only thing you don't want to take is things for cholesterol called statin medication. It has more harm than good. Any cholesterol medication in the world, if somebody prescribes statin, say no, thank you, because there's lots of natural way of doing it. If you take heart medications, blood pressure medications, look first at the side effect. If the harm exceeds the benefits, then logically, I would not touch that. So none of us here take any medication that cause more harm. If somebody, God forbid, somebody have cancer and they take chemotherapy, chemotherapy have lots of harm than good. People lose their hair. If they lose their hair, that means it's cytotoxic. So they don't understand that chemotherapy is not really the answer to cancer. The answer to cancer is find the root cause, find the problem, and deal with it. Right, Paul? Am I correct? It's a healing wizard.
Totally. Yeah.
So you know what? If you just send somebody with cancer to Paul, and in 2 months, 3 months, you can reverse it, finding the root cause, and we can reverse it naturally. There is no need for chemotherapy, radiation, or amputation, none of the complications we need. Okay, so what other questions do you have, Gina, before we go to Marisol?
Okay. I always reset my kidney with something that is called, I don't know how they call it in other countries. In here, it's homeopathic and it's called Jumel. It's this distilled from from a plant, and it's homeopathic, a treatment I have used for more than 30 years, and I do it like once a year to help my kidneys get rid of whatever they want to get rid of and
Perfect.
flush, any stones.
Keep
Yeah.
using homeopathic remedy. Homeopathic remedy it's very natural, it's very safe. I have never seen anybody dying from taking homeopathic medicine, but I've seen 99% of people taking statin, blood pressure medication, dying from all of those medications. Homeopathic medicine is safe. Take homeopathic, take eye drops, no problem. You're safe. And take the 4 supplements I'm going to recommend for you to reverse your diabetes, your kidney stones, and all of this stuff. It's very easy to take. Okay, just contact me through academyofwellness.com. My email is there. Send me an email, and then we'll help you. I'm going to copy Paul about what I'm recommending for you so he knows my recommendation, and he's gonna follow up with you in the next scan. And then guess what? After 3 months, he scan you and this thing is gone. All of the stuff is gone. All of the red flag is gone. It's like he is not only a wizard, he's a magician. And he's my student, of course.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So is there
just making a comment on that. The person that George did about a month ago with me, I did a scan on her the other day, a month later, and so many things are not there that were there a month ago. And she's won her health IQ test went from 41 to 57, and it's shown up in her body a lot. Her blood is a lot better, her immune system's a lot better, her heart's a lot better, and it's all showing up in the scan. So it's physical proof that your body's changing and getting better.
So I'm going to add another adjective to the health wizard / genius. So health wizard / genius. And you're amazing, Paul. I'm so fortunate to be teaming up with somebody knowledgeable about this. And by the way, he was so knowledgeable before the AO scan, but the AO scan now actually made him more dangerous. He's very, I mean, in a good way, he's very effective now in detecting the exact root cause scientifically. Not a single physician or scientist in Australia or New Zealand can argue with Paul right now, because he has as bigger biceps like me. Okay.
And of course, I'm doing it at the energetic level as well. Like I can connect to the energy, and
energetically, that's everything's energy.
And I can feel the energy in your body, and I can even talk to your kidneys and ask how
exactly frequency.
Yeah.
Everything's energy and frequency. Absolutely. Okay, Gina. Any other questions? I know it's reaching 2 hours here. Paul said 2 hours, but I just take 5 minutes for Q&A, and then we'll call it off. Okay. Cool. Any other questions, Gina? That's it?
No, I'm ready for the next step, and thank you so much.
I'm waiting for the email. Write down my email address in case if you cannot find the website. My last name, Dr. Grant, and then wellness@gmail.com. I'm expecting an email from you. Okay, my dear?
Okay.
Dr. Grant wellness@gmail.com. Marisol, do you have any quick questions, Marisol, from California?
I don't have a question, but I can share a testimony. I just do AO scan maybe every once a year, or I may like just once a year when I don't feel good. But I really very hesitant when I started 2019 or 2020. Maybe around that time. I'm very hesitant. I'm like, but like I'm so hopeless last year of being go back and forth into the doctor. I think I'm going to perimenopausal. I have so much hormonal issues maybe down there. So, and then last December, because I'm very hopeless taking antibiotic, fluconazole, something like that. So I called Dr. Grant. So since December, my health is really improving. I have a bad sleep. Like I'm so stressed paying my debts from the previous marriage. 7 years I paid them off. So it's like it's not easy, but I paid it off. Praise the Lord. And my children finished college. Both of the kids are done college. So physical therapy, and then the other one is web designer. So yay. So I have a very good sleep. Like I sleep by 8:30 in the evening and I wake up at 5.
Excellent, Marisol. It's a great story because when somebody take antibiotics, actually the name antibiotics means literally against life. It killed the bad bacteria, but it's going to kill also the healthy bacteria. It's going to kill your microbiome, the pro and the pre and postbiotics that will try to make it healthier. So that's what your issues. And then once you take antibiotics, you're going to have yeast infection, you're going to have problems, and it's cycle. And then you're going to have fatigue, and then you're going to have microbiome problem, and then liver problems. And so it's a great testimonial. It's a great story to share with people here. So before you take anything, check the side effect. Look at the side effect and side benefits. And if the side effects exceed the benefits, not take it. And instead of taking antibiotics, you can eat things that has a pre and pro and post, like kimchi, like sauerkraut, like kombucha. Fermented food has pre and probiotics that will kill the yeast. Or take the one that I recommended for Marisol, that will kill all of the yeast, and now she has no yeast infection and no problem there with any bacteria, fungus, yeast on it. Great. Thank you so much for sharing that. And since I saw you in May using the AO scan, you start to develop the confidence now to do it. And then I'm going to see you hopefully next month. And then we're going to do some more training, hands-on training. And keep up the great work that you're doing. You finished all of the courses there. I see all of the assignments. It's almost finished. You're doing a great job. I'm so proud of you as my doctoral student.
Praise the Lord. I'm full time. I really take off. My husband is very supportive, and I just cannot do so many things because I'm studying like from the time I wake up up to the time whole day I'm studying and studying and studying.
Thank you, Marisol. I'm so proud of you.
Praise.
Okay,
Thank you.
let's go now. Let's go to down the list here. Hannah. Hannah, do you have any questions for us quickly from England? Unmute and ask any questions, Hannah. I can hardly wait to hear your beautiful
Wouldn't
British
come off
accent.
to start with. No, I've not got any questions, thanks.
All right. Keep that beautiful British Queen accent here. I love this British accent. We have lots of Britain people from England in Toronto, and I love to hear them speak in that accent. Okay, so are you following Paul's advice? Has Paul given you a scan yet? Or have
No,
you not done the scan
she
as
hasn't had
yet?
one yet.
Okay, well, I guess after this session here, you're gonna book the scan with Paul, right, Hannah?
Not at the moment, no, I haven't got any money.
I put
So,
I
All right.
put I put the link in the chat room, and if people are on welfare, I'll give them a big discount. So if you click on that link I put in the chat room, you can go and book a scan, and I do have discount for people who are on welfare on low income. So
I can
you get a
afford it at
discount.
the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. All right, next.
So,
Who is next? Who do you see next, Paul, who have any questions? Because we have only 2 minutes left. I promise
No,
you
I
I'm
don't think
finishing.
I think the other people have left. So
yeah.
Okay, all right, so just us. Okay, so, okay, Paul, do you have any questions? The last thing enough for you? Any questions for me?
no, I don't have any questions, but I just want to just as final comments. I just want to really thank Dr. Grant for coming on and showing his expertise on how to use this machine. And as we talked about today,
Oh, hold on.
uh,
It's called the device. Don't call it ever a machine. It's called the device. It's a
yeah,
medical device.
cool. Thank you
Okay,
for that. Yeah.
medical
So
device.
this voice scan device is so powerful to show you what's going on in your body. And as we talked about today, most people have a stressful lifestyle, but you're not even aware the impact it's having on your body. And as we've shown with Gina, it's shown detailed impacts and assessing how her body is. And obviously, she went through a big stress in last year with her husband passing away, and the impact it had on her heart as a classic example, and issues around other issues she's had in her life around her kidney stones and fear. So my suggestion is come and get a scan, right? And it's absolutely worth it to know where you're at. So just thanks for all those people who turned up. Especially thanks to you, Gina, for coming along and allowing us to use you as a guinea pig to show the impact of this. And I'm sure you got a lot out of it. But thanks a lot again to Dr. Grant and his student, Dr. Harvey and Marisol. And I hope you guys have learned a lot from it, from watching Dr. George in action again. And we look forward to seeing your guy next time. So enjoy your evening if you're in North America. In Australia, it's about lunchtime. So I'm going to go and have some good lunch. Thanks.
Okay, Paul,
Thanks,
I put
everyone.
my contact information on the chat here.
Cool. Yeah.
So, Gina, you can have my academyofwellness.com there listed on the
Cool.
chat,
Thanks
and you
for
have
that.
my email
Yeah.
address, and it's also available for you, Hannah. You can consult with me free of charge. Don't worry about any cost. Okay, just email me, and you can do the scan with Paul. He was generous to give you the scan complimentary.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's worth a $250 gift right there for you, or about 200 pounds, which is good. So my email, my website there, by the way, academyofwellness.com has all of the thing you need to be healthy to live till age of 111. So look at this website. It has lots of videos. It has lots of information. So once you get to the first page, look at it. And then once you go to About Us, you're going to see more stuff. You're going to see the Wellness IQ. You're going to see all of the other stuff that people actually read it, look at it, and practice it and do it. Like Paul did look at every single blog I have on the website. I have 375 blogs. I believe that Paul read all of them. Right, Paul?
Telepathically, I connected to them all. Yeah, I read fast. I
Yes.
can connect to the energy of them.
And then Marisol, before she finished her doctorate degree, she has to be reading all of those posts before we give her to become Dr. Marisol Bancroft.
So just a final comment, Gina, just remember you have been emailed all the reports, so you might want to look through them. You'll
Yeah.
watch the replay of this. It'll probably be worthwhile watching this replay as well to go through what Dr. George said. And then if you book a call with me and we can talk about any the next steps to follow up to make sure that you
Yes.
go from 46% up to 90 very quickly.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. I think that's about it. Thanks for everyone for your time, and we look forward to talking to you next time.
Hannah, welcome.
Thank you.
We hope to
Thank
see you
you.
again, and it really improves my health a lot.
Cool.
Thank
The
Thanks for
you.
that,
AO
Marisol.
scan.
Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Marcel. Thank you,
Okay,
Paul.
guys.
And
Thanks a
I've
lot.
been giving also to my friends for free because I want their health to
Okay.
improve.
Yeah,
Of course,
absolutely.
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 Cool. Okay,
Absolutely.
thanks a lot.
Thank you. Take care.